Hey YouTube, Common Collector here, and today we are going to be doing some test hand combos with my pure Adamancipator deck. I just did a deck profile on this a few days ago, and I got quite a few comments, and one of the comments for sure was to do some combos because people want to just see how to get out the most number of negates and whatnot with like this big combo strategy. So this deck is a lot of fun, and I also did a budget version of this mixed with Magnet Warriors. If you guys also want to check that out on my channel, if you haven't seen it already, because that is also a really fun way to play this if you can't afford Researcher and stuff like that. So please go ahead and check out some of my other deck profiles and combo videos and whatnot if interested, and subscribe while you're up to it. I would really appreciate it. The channel is like getting close to 700 subscribers, so that's just like a really good feeling. Things have been going really fast lately, so really excited about that. So thank you guys, everybody who's been watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting. It really helps me to keep my motivation up and keep doing this, because I really do love doing this. So we'll just do a random 5-card draw, and I think we're just going to do a couple of like test hands and just sort of see what we can get out with this for like a first turn board. This deck also does really good like still going second, especially if you side out a few things. Like I do a full sideboard in my Adamancipator deck profile. So if you guys want to check out that deck profile and see the side deck where I'm playing like evenly matched and Dark Ruler No More and whatnot, just to like push through your opponent's stuff if they're playing a combo deck, and then you can go ahead and put up your own board in turn 2. So starting off here with our opening hand, we have one Adamancipator Seeker. We do have one brick. You know, we don't really want to be drawing the Mecha Phantom Beast O-line, but that is totally fine. We can still use it in our combo. So with this, I think we would just go ahead and summon out our Doki Doki and use its effect to discard the Kawaki Meru Guardian, or the Overload. Overload, and use Doki Doki's effect to special summon out our Adamancipator Analyzer. So with that, so with Doki Doki, you have to use monster with the same attribute and level, and it has to be a rock, so you get a rock with the same attribute and level. So yeah, that's why I like running a lot of the level 4 Earths, so you can easily get out Analyzer, because Analyzer is the harder monster to summon. So now we'll use Analyzer's effect and reveal the top 5 of our deck and special summon a non-tuner. So we will happily take the Dododo Wharf Go 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 Glove, and then the rest of the cards go to the bottom of the deck in any order. It usually really doesn't matter because you end up shuffling anyways before you get to the bottom of the deck. So I'll just put them down there in no particular order. We'll just then try to get the Dododo Wharf to the graveyard as quickly as we can. But I guess we don't want to forget about our Seeker that's in our hand, so we will special summon this card from the field, or to the field. So I like putting it in defense whenever I can, and we'll just use Seeker's effect, so we'll reveal the top 5 again, and special summon out a non-tuner, and so we will go with the Gigas. So special summoning Gigas to the field. We will now take these two, and we can go on into our Crystron Halqifibrax. So we'll put Halki on the board right there with Halk. Then we will use his effect to special summon the O-Lion to the field. And then we just got to kind of clear up some monster zones. Also, now I have to quick check this here. While the Go 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 Dwarf Go 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 Glove is in the graveyard, if you control a Go 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 monster while this is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card and then banish it when it leaves the field. So we will special summon that to the field, and then we will take how about we take these two right here, and we will go ahead and synchro into our Adamancipator Risen Raptite. And then I think we're just going to take these two just to kind of get some zones opened up here for our Halqifibrax combo. We're going to go ahead and link into Nightmare Cerberus right there. I like putting on the Cerberus there because he does help with other combos that we are going to be getting to a little bit later. And he's just nice to have on the field because he is an Earth monster. So right now, what we are going to do, since we have our 3 zones open, before we even use the Raptites effect, we will link away the Halqifibrax to go on into our Link Cross. Link Cross hits the field, and then that'll give us 2 tokens because Crystron Halqifibrax is a Link 2, so we get 1 token for the Link rating. So then we'll take these 2, and so the monsters can't be used as Link material with Link Cross, but we can still take these 2 and then go on into our Martial Metal Marcher. And then Metal Marcher is able to then special summon back the O-Line to the field. And if you have open zones, you can just use O-Line's effect right away. But instead, we are just going to take these 2, and then we'll go on into our Herald of the Arclight, which is going to be a floodgate sent whenever a monster is sent from the hand or main deck to the graveyard, it's banished instead. So it's just a really nice floodgate, and then also it contributes itself for an Omni Negate. So then we are going to use the Risen Raptites effect and reveal the top 5 cards of our deck, and then we can just special summon 1 rock, which means that we can special summon off the Adamancipator Researcher, which is really cool that you can take the tuners off with the Raptites effect. And so we will then take these 2, and then we can go on into our Dragite, or we can go on into the Borreload Savage Dragon. Really depends on what you want. I kind of like saving the Dragite for going, if you're going second or like on your following turn, because Dragite can pop stuff to your opponent's hand. So I think we're just going to go with the Borreload Savage. In general, he's just sort of the better play. So Savage is going to be getting equipped with the Crystron Halqifibrax, and also getting 750 extra attack, and he will have 2 negates. Then I should have a dice on side here. There we go. So Borreload Savage with 2 negates right there. We still have just the 1 card in our hand, but we are, we also get a token onto the field with our Mecha Phantom Beast O-Line hitting the graveyard. So now we get a token right there, and we will just link that off for our Link Spider. Now that we have 2 Cybers monsters on the field, we can just go ahead and link these 2 to go into our Union Carrier. So now with Union Carrier on the board, we can use its effect in order to attach, gotta find it, the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword right here. So that will be equipped also onto the Borreload Savage, giving it an extra 1,000 attack. So Borreload Savage is going to be sitting at 4750 attack with 2 negates. And then while this card is on the field, our opponent cannot special summon from the extra deck. We still have yet to use our Adamancipator Researcher's effect. So we are going to do that, reveal the top 5 of our deck. And with that, we are going to, if we special summoned off the Gigas, we would, if we had an extra open zone, we could summon up the Gigas, but we can't. I think we are just going to maybe take the Quackymeru Guardian, because that's also a monster negate, especially if right now our opponent was trying to use Nibiru on us, then that means that we could go ahead and stop that right there as well. So from here, we actually have a little bit of a decision to make. We can either take the, leave our board sort of as is, just leave the Block Dragon in our hand for a backup for next turn. And the only last thing would be to maybe turn these 2 cards right here into an IP Masquerena, because the next biggest thing that I like to do is then you can take these 2 on your opponent's next turn to go into Mech Knight Crusadia Avramax, which then will have destruction protection with the IP Masquerena. And then at some point you could eventually turn your board into maybe putting an Appaloosa right there where the Nightmare Cerberus points. So you can either do that, or depending on if your opponent seems to be playing a monster-centric deck, which most decks are, then you could instead turn these 3 cards into Appaloosa, which would end up having 3 negates. So that's sort of up to you. The only downside is that you're getting rid of your Quackymeru Guardian, which is also a monster negate. So it's really just up to preference, but probably the way that I would end up doing it is leave the board probably with the board looking like this. Save the Block Dragon, because the Block Dragon isn't actually going to be protecting your board from anything else, because we don't have any rock monsters on the field anymore, and we don't want to just like link these two guys away and we don't have any link zones open, so we can't like link something away to go on into anything else. So I think that this is sort of like the best way to leave the board as is with the hand that we got. And yeah, so then on our next turn, I would probably just end up on our opponent's turn, go on into Mekhanite Crusadia Avramax with Destruction Protection, can't be targeted, and he's like really hard to get over in battle, and he's the only one that your opponent can battle. And then we have 2 Omni Negates, and then we're pretty cut and dry there to go on into Appaloosa as long if some of this stuff doesn't get blown up as well. And also our opponent can't go on into the extra deck, which is probably the biggest thing. And then seeing on our next draw there, we have Adamancipator Signs, which with Signs and Block Dragon, we would definitely be able to easily go into Appaloosa. Sorry about the lighting right there. But yeah, so that is going to be the end for our first board. And already that's about 10 minutes. So I think I'm going to go on into just one more quick combo. Alright guys, so these combos do end up actually getting pretty long, so I think I'm just going to do one more here. So the biggest things that I want to focus on for this last part is hopefully utilizing Gallic Granite's effect. Also, besides that, I want to kind of show off a great combo with Dragite and your Adamancipator Signs. You use Signs to bring back Dragite. Signs then lets you put a special rock monster on the top of your deck of your choice, level 4 lower rock monster, and then Dragite lets you draw from the top of your deck. So that's just like a really nice combo you can do. Also, I want to show off, again, the Gigas combo with the Dota Dwarf Go 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 Glove, because I did the Gloves effect, but I didn't do the Gigas. And then besides that, we still have to go over Block Dragon's effect. So hopefully we can get off like at least a few of these combos, if not all of them, in this final combo here. So let's just see what we can do with that. So our top 5 draw, we are going to be getting, let's see, we have a Doki Doki, Analyzer, Researcher. Again, we picked up an O-line, and then also another Analyzer. So this is not the best hand, but it's also not the worst, because we have like, you know, a couple really great cards right here. So what we're going to do is we'll probably just start off by summoning our Doki Doki to the field and discarding the Analyzer in order to summon actually another Analyzer from the deck. So we're going to be all out of Analyzers, which is okay. That means that off of our search effects with our Adamancipators, we shouldn't be coming into too many of the tuners, because now there's 1, 2, 3, 4 copies out of the 9 that are already out of the deck, so that's actually pretty good. So we'll just use this Analyzer's effect. Analyzer will take up the top 5 of our deck and special summon a non-tuner rock. I think we're just going to pick up the Dragite. I like setting up the Dragite in the graveyard as early as I can, but we're going to skip using his draw effect. So when he's summoned, he can let you draw a card from the top of your deck, but we're going to try to not utilize, well, actually I think we kind of have to, because yeah, the only way that you can really postpone this is if you're playing the Leonite in the deck. So but I already sort of explained how that Adamancipator Science combo works. But yeah, if you do run Leonite in the extra deck, it does let you search and add an Adamancipator card from the top of your deck to your hand. So that is a way to get Signs. But anyway, okay, so we picked up a Signs, but unfortunately we can't use his effect twice. But it's just nice to get him set up in the graveyard so you can use your Dragite's effect later. So anyways, we're just going to take the Doki Doki and the Analyzer, and we'll go ahead and pick up our Halqifibrax, and we'll do the whole combo. So I'm just going to do this really quickly. We're going to get out the Mecha Phantom Beast O-Lion, and then we'll link away Crystron Halqifibrax to get the Link Cross. Link Cross will summon the 2 tokens. We'll take these 2 here, link or synchro them away for Martial Metal Marcher, and then Chain Link 1 and Chain Link 2 with the O-Lion. He will bring back the O-Lion, or actually he will just bring back a tuner. So in this instance, I'm just going to bring back one of our Analyzers from the graveyard, and then O-Lion's effect will special summon a token to the field. So we'll then use Martial Metal Marcher and this other token to go ahead on into our Herald of the Arclight for just a really simple Omni Negate. and then we'll take away this other token to go on into our link spider. So with them, we will go ahead and pick up the Union Carrier onto the board just to, again, open up some space. And this is just so important for going on into your other combo later. So we will head on into that combo pretty soon. But first, since we have a rock monster on the field, we're going to utilize our Researcher's effect. Special Summoning Researcher, we'll put it over there actually. And we'll take these two here and synchro them off to go on into our Borreload Savage Dragon. Savage will then get the Crystron Halqifibrax with our Toon Negates right there. And so right now in the graveyard we have a Dragite in the graveyard, and we also have a Wind in the graveyard so that our synchros can also get their effects off if they're on the field, so that's really nice. So that's a good part with like playing this whole like the link cross engine and all that stuff, is like you get the Martial Metal Marcher and even Halqifibrax in the graveyard, who's a water, to help with the Dragite if he stays in the graveyard. So besides that, we're going to utilize our Researcher's effect, picking up the top 5 of our deck and special summoning a non-tuner rock monster. So we will special summon out the Gigas, and we'll put everything else to the bottom of the deck. And with that, I think we are, wow, we're actually getting a little bit close to slowing down on our combos, which is usually a sign that you need to go ahead on into your Block Dragon. So we're going to use Adamancipator Signs, and we will summon out Analyzer from the graveyard once again. And with Adamancipator Signs, we can put a rock monster on the top of our deck, but it actually won't really matter. We're just going to take these two, overlay into our Gallic Granite, and then we will detach the Go 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 Gigas in order to pick up Block Dragon from in the deck. We'll then special summon Block Dragon by banishing 3 Earth monsters, which easily we can do Analyzer, and then the Link Spider is like the next easiest target, and we can get rid of the Doki Doki. We don't really need him, so we're going to banish those 3 targets to go ahead and special summon out the Block Dragon to the field. Actually, really quickly, just because I noticed a small mistake that I made, is that I'm actually going to keep the Researcher in this zone or one of these other zones, just to keep it a little bit simpler for this combo, or what would be the most optimal. So we're going to take the Block Dragon and the Gallic Granite, and we can link those two off there to go on into our IP Masquerena. And then with the Block Dragon hitting the graveyard, he's going to allow us to pick up some more monsters. So from here, all we really need is these two are the only two that we actually need, and then we will just pick up the Doki Doki for good measure. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able in this combo to show off the Gigas combo with the Dodo Dwarf, but overall it's a pretty simple concept to understand. So with this, we are going to special summon Gigantes by banishing an Earth monster, and we will just banish the Gallic Granite. It's really nice that you just get all of these like extra deck monsters and stuff that are Earths that can be easy targets for that stuff. So we're going to take these two and finally go on into our Adamancipator Risen Raptite, and we will utilize its effect and special summon a monster that we reveal. We'll see if we get anything, and we can go into the Koaki Meru Guardian right now, or if we want to instead, what we can just do is instead of Guardian, we can opt to not special summon anything, and right here we can, since we have an Adamancipator on the field, special summon Seeker to the field, and then we can go ahead and go on into Dragite, which will mean that we have 2 Omni Negates, we'll have Avramax, and then we'll also have a Spell or Trap Negate. Or if you leave this, go on into Koaki Meru Guardian there, then instead you'll have a Graveyard Disruption, a Graveyard Banish with the Raptite, and then Quacking Mirror Guardian will be able to negate a monster effect. So overall, it's really just up to your preference from here, depending on what you would want to do. So I think what I would probably do is not special summon anything, and I would go ahead on into the Dragite by sending these two, and then you could still go ahead and banish 3 more rock monsters to special summon out the Block Dragon, because Block Dragon's effect can be used more than once. The special summoning effect can be used more than once. So I'm thinking that I would probably go ahead and banish those guys from the graveyard to get Block Dragon back. That means he's going to be giving protection to your Dragite as well as himself on the field. And yeah, we'll keep him actually in defense mode. And then we're going to go on our opponent's turn, go into Avramax. And this right here is one of my favorite, just simple little combos, because right here this means with Block Dragon on the field, rock monsters can only be destroyed by battle, but Avramax is the only battle target that your opponent can have, and then he also gains a lot of attack. So here we have 2 Omni Negates, Graveyard Interaction, and then Spell or Trap Negate, Destruction Protection for rocks, and then also he can't be destroyed by card effects because of your IP Masquerade's protection, and then also he can't be targeted with his own effect, and he has battle protection. So overall, this is probably one of the most common boards that I usually ended on. We still have 2 cards in our hand, which are going to be really great combo starters. In case our opponent blows up this whole board, we have an Analyzer in hand to special summon, and then Doki Doki to discard whatever card we pick up next, which, okay, Block Dragon, he would not be a good target for Doki Doki. But overall, guys, I think that's going to do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and check out some of my other videos. If you guys want to check out my Toon Chaos unboxing, where I basically pulled $1,000 in collector's rares in 2 boxes, go ahead and check out that video. Very interesting. And we'll catch you guys next time. Let me know in the comments what else you guys are thinking for deck profiles and stuff, or how else you want to see this deck run with all the different engines that you can play, like Magnet Warriors and whatnot. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. Good luck hunting those crispy boys. Common Collector out.